Hi, I'm here in the hotel. I'm preparing myself to go to the site survey, and in a few minutes I went out to take the car and go to the industrial plant. And before we do any site survey, we need to identify the potential risks that we will find in the field. So in this video, I'll talk to you about some considerations about safety before we enter any industrial plant. In my case, I like to have my own personal equipment protection, so I always bring with me them, so I don't need to worry if the site has the boot on my size or have a hat available, and I will show them for you if you don't know them yet, and talk a little bit about each one, its importance. And before we start about the safety issues, it is very important to know the process there that you are going to visit. And in this case, I'm going to a biomethane plant, where this biomethane is taken from a landfill. So usually in this kind of process we have a blower that takes the gas from the landfill and builds some pressure to flow this biogas to the plant. Once it reaches the plant, we have scrubbing in the first step to cool the gas, because it's around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and we need to remove the H2S in order to not have any issues during the CO2 removal. So we have a biologic H2S removal, and after that the gas goes to the compressor inlet, where the pressure is built to around 30 bar G, and methane and CO2 goes to a separation process with a solvent and two steps. In the first step, it enters in a column with hot solvent, where it dehydrates, remove water from the gas, the biogas, and a little bit about CO2, and the gas goes to a second column, where the cold solvent in fact remove all or almost all the CO2 in the gas, and the gas with around 96% of methane goes to the battery limit, where we need to reduce the pressure from 30 bar G around to 14 bar G. And this solvent is regenerated during this process. So in the hot side we have cooling, and the gas is taken from the solvent with pressure reduction. And in the cold side we have the same, but we have two stages of gas depressing, and we also have a chiller for decreasing the solvent temperature, again to remove CO2 in the second column. And knowing that, I can identify that as we are talking about a biomethane and biogas, we have a flammable source so it's very important to not have any ignition in the area that I'm working around. So in a flame where we have flammable source in a plant, we can't smoke for sure, okay, and we cannot use open flames also. And this kind of plant has classified area where instruments and electrical equipment has a special type of specification. And I don't have any cryogenic issue in this plant, and there is no dust also, so I don't need to use any mask because I don't have any asphyxiation gases nor dust in the field, so I will not need to use a mask. However, I have hot spots because we compress the gas and we have the heat added to that. So I will have a glove to eventually handle a manual valve. And it's very important to use boots also. And let's take a look at the equipment and you understand what I'm talking about. First, personal safety equipment that I show you is the boots. I need to use the boots to prevent any impact in my feeds, and it's very common that any industrial plant requires that you use boots in the field, and even women need to use them. I have some other personal equipment here. It's very important to use also the safety glasses because you don't want any projection gets to your eyes. So if eventually a PSV opens or if something is projected in the field, you need to have the safety glass to protect your eyes. And I have here my hat, and it's very important also because I will walking around through pipelines, and you use the hat to prevent your head from impact also. I have here my hearing protector. I prefer this one instead of those of plug. I believe this protects my ears better, and we attach this to the hat so we protect our ears from the noise in the field, because we have lots of rotating equipment, and if you are exposed to many hours to a noisy environment, you lose your hearing capacity. And here I have also my gloves, and I like to have my own personal gloves. I bring him to everywhere when I go into the site survey or when I do field activities. And it's very important too, because if I need to open a valve, a manual valve, and if its service is for a hot fluid, the valve will be hot also, so you need a glove to protect your hands from cold and from hot surfaces. In this case, I have only hot surfaces. I don't have cryogenic or cold surfaces. And here I don't have a uniform fire resistance uniform with a jeans and a shirt, so I have a coat that is fire resistant, and I use that to protect me if eventually if eventually I get involved with any flame source. And to complete my stuffs for the site survey, I have also the pen ID, where I will use it to do the as-built. So here I already have some notes, because it was already identified during my job in the office, but I expect to have more red markers to identify what I will face in the field. So this is the main stuff that I need to do a field activity. And of course there are much more details to talk about, but to start with, it is a good start.